Eggnog. It's a drink many of us are familiar with, especially around the holidays, and it's often regarded as a classic. I've only tried it once before, but I have to admit it was pretty good. Certainly nothing to go crazy over, right? Well, a group of military cadets attending West Point in 1826 begged to differ. Welcome back to Tales of History, and today's episode I'll be telling the story of the Eggnog Riot. Before I tell the story of the riot itself, as always, some background context. The United States Military Academy was first constructed in 1802 in the state of New York, specifically in the region of West Point, hence its more common name. As the War of 1812 approached, Congress authorized a more formal code of education and to increase the number of cadets at the academy. In early 1817, West Point hired Colonel Sylvanus Thayer as the new superintendent, introducing reforms and maintaining discipline. Despite West Point having a strict set of rules when it came to alcohol, smoking, and even playing cards, Thayer allowed for alcohol to only be consumed on the 4th of July and Christmas. However, a 4th of July celebration in 1825 got way out of hand, and during this the cadets reportedly had hoisted the school's commandant, William Worth, on their shoulders and proceeded to carry him back to their barracks. Yeah, you really couldn't make this up. As a result, Thayer decided to officially ban alcohol altogether. But even in the 1820s, you should never underestimate a teenager's objectives to have a good time. Suspecting that the cadets would plan to break the rules this coming Christmas, Thayer informed a fellow instructor at the academy, Ethan Allen Hitchcock, to keep an eye out for anything suspicious. This brings us to Christmas Eve, 1826. Now, eggnog back then was a lot stronger than what's made or sold nowadays, with the standard mixture consisting of eggs, cream, sugar, and a lot of booze. So it shouldn't be a surprise that the cadets had decided to add 2 whole gallons of whiskey mixed in with their eggnog. The whiskey in question had been smuggled into the dorm room by 2 fellow cadets who 2 days earlier had crossed the river to make the purchase. After purchasing the whiskey, the cadets began to make their way back to West Point, hitting a roadblock as they did. Spotting a private on guard duty, the cadets did what Americans have been doing for decades. They bribed him, with about 35 cents. The cadets snuck back into the dorm and added the 2 bottles of whiskey into the eggnog. Now the party was about to begin. One of the cadets attending the party was future Confederate President Jefferson Davis. Davis himself would not partake in the chaos that was about to unfold, despite earning a reputation as a drunk. The party continued on in different dorm rooms, and by now the commotion had caught the attention of the instructors, with Hitchcock making his way to the dorms. Seeing the cadets drunk on eggnog, Hitchcock orders them to stop and to get back to bed, now, with only Davis complying and passing out on his bed for the rest of the night. After berating the first set of cadets, Hitchcock makes his way down the stairs to another level of rooms. Meanwhile, upstairs, one student tells his friends to gear up, making death threats against Hitchcock as he did. Hitchcock approaches another room. As he enters, one of the cadets aimed a pistol directly at Hitchcock. The captain slid in safe when a second cadet pushed the gunman out of the way, causing the bullet to miss Hitchcock's head by only a few inches. Hitchcock ran out of the building, outside towards a cadet who was on guard duty, alerting him of what was going on, and to get Commandant Worth, hoping he would try to stop this due to his popularity among the cadets, but was misheard by a drunk cadet who alerted the rioters about an attack from upper-class cadets. Armed with pistols, swords, rocks, and whatever they can get their hands on, the rioters readied themselves for a fight. They were convinced that the staff and upper-class cadets were planning to bombard the dorm with cannons. Yeah, that must have been some really strong whiskey. Over the next few hours, total chaos ensued. Windows were broken, staff members assaulted, cookery smashed, and banisters torn off, causing $164 worth of damage to the building. Several cadets even barricaded themselves in their dorms for defense. As the sun rose on Christmas Day, the effects of the eggnog had finally started to wear off. The Eggnog Riot was over. Although several cadets took part in the riot or attended the party prior, the academy only decided to court-martial those who they considered the worst offenders to preserve the school's image, a total of 20 cadets to be precise. Jefferson Davis was not among those court-martialed, although he was confined to barracks for 6 weeks. Despite not being involved with the riot and not even having a sip of the eggnog himself, One student, Robert E. Lee, defended some of his fellow cadets at their court-martials. Over 167 witnesses testified at the hearings. In the end, the 20 cadets were each court-martialed, with 11 of them being expelled from West Point. The Eggnog Riot has gone down in history as one of the most bizarre and ridiculous stories ever to be told. So the next time you think your Christmas party is getting out of hand, or if you think the eggnog could use a little more nog, think of West Point in 1826. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, leave a like and subscribe. Happy holidays, everyone, and see you all next time.